podcast, everybody. You got your host, DTG, the Tengu God, right here. About to call up our guest, Noah23. Got the interview right here. Let's give him a call. What's up? Get this out of here.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yo, yeah, I can hear you. How about on my end? Am I clear?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yo, what's good? The Guelph Oracle, aka Captain Clark, Fuzzylogic, Full Effect, Twist Drizzy, Noah23. What's good, man?
Yeah, you know what's up. That's the spiel, man. No, things are good, man. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I cannot complain right now. I got a show in a couple weeks out in Hartford at the Webster Underground. I am hyped for. Yeah. Things are going good.
So, are we live right now? Should I know or no?
No, this is I'm pre-recording it, so I can like edit anything out if you want or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to know. Out of way school, so no problem.
No, you're good. So I was doing a little bit of research online. I don't want to ask you a bunch of stuff. A bunch of other people have asked you. I saw like there was an interview back in 2001, like holy shit, and then 2008 too, like goddamn.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, so.
Yes, sir. So I was diving into. I mean, I've been listening for a little while. I've been a fan for a minute, and like, just like, all right, just off the top of my head, one track that really stood out to me, just like the past couple days that I've been playing a lot, was off of Peacock Angel 2015. I think it's towards the end of the album. My daddy went to prison and my little brother died. That track, holy shit.
Yeah, and that's actually produced by a legend. That's Creep from Florida.
Creep from Florida.
I'm not sure if you're familiar. His name's That's Creep.
That's Creep.
Yeah, he does a lot of really dope underground stuff. He's a total legend. He produced that one. I mean, we're actually coming up on the 10-year anniversary of Peacock Angel. Next month, May 23rd, will be the 10-year anniversary of that album. So I don't really think I have anything crazy planned, but I will, at least make a couple posts about it. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've been diving into that one. That one has a lot of stuff on it. Also on that one, God, it's just that was a banger of an album. Then the cover too.
Yeah, I mean, it was really kind of right at the center of the cyclone of the SoundCloud scene and the, just the alternative hip hop scene at that time, the trap scene and stuff. There was just so much going on, and there was a lot of fresh energy. That was already, to me, kind of like late in the scene because it had been really cooking since like 2011. It was a cool time, and it was interesting as far as like who may work together, and I was just reaching out to a lot of people at that time, so I ended up collaborating with a lot of people. A lot of artists went on to be huge. A lot of people, kept doing it but stayed low key, and a lot of people kind of disappeared off the map. It was just a wild era. For instance, the one of the MCs on Peacock Angel, he's on the track DMT. His name is Les. And he was from St. Louis, and he kind of started acting a little bit like Tweaky, kind of was going off his rocker, and then he kind of just fell off the map, and I never heard from him ever again.
Ooh.
So, there's always just this mysterious shit in the underground,
Yeah, I got a couple people that I was a big fan of, and they kind of just disappeared, which is kind of sad to see, but life happens.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. A lot of times it's understandable, but other times it's sort of more, vague, mysterious, almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you listening and looking out. Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, I've been diving deep. Like I could go back to Quicksand.
Yeah, man.
2002, Crypto Spiridion. Like that track was a fucking banger.
Yeah, no, even to this day, because like a lot of songs age in different ways.
I feel like it stands out very nicely, and it has aged very well.
That's cool. You know, a lot of times it's hard for me to delve back and listen to the really old stuff because I sound really young or just unpolished in my approach or the recording or just, you know, my voice, whatever it is. A lot of times it's hard to listen to old stuff, but usually I still have like a reverence and appreciation for the old stuff too. But yeah, Cryptosporidion was a really cool, unique track. We actually made a 12-inch. I think that might have been my first or my second vinyl. So like, we even had a single for that. And then Quicksand went on to be re-released in Germany. Basically what happened is me and my homie Orphan, we released it on Plague Language here in North America.
And you guys started Plague Language, right? You two? And then...
Right, yeah. It was kind of like my brainchild, and then Orphan had a lot of like hustle and ambition. And, you know, and he was producing a lot of the tracks, a lot of the albums, to be honest, like full albums. For a lot of the early releases, like he produced a lot of my first couple albums, the Neophyte Phenotype, Quicksand, and then he produced Barracuda's album, and then, you know, he was working with Orko Elohim, who's a legend to me, and yeah, like made a drum and bass album. You know, there's a lot going on back then. And then Orphan, I should throw this in there, Orphan went on to be in Blue Sky Black Death.
Yes.
So that's kind of an interesting, you know, just a way it went down.
Yeah. I've been doing like just some little research, just trying to, you know, get a little bit of a clearer picture on, you know, like what's been going on out there. Cause me, I'm in Connecticut, USA. So and then you're actually from the US, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was born in Natchez, Mississippi, and I lived in Louisiana, Colorado, in Texas for the most part when I was young, and then I moved to Canada when I was like 4 or 5. You know, I was sort of back and forth a little bit, but yeah. And then I grew up in a city in Canada called Guelph, which is it's very close to Toronto.
Hence the Guelph Oracle.
Right, exactly. So that's where I get I rap about Guelph a fair bit. It's kind of a small city. It's about 150,000. So it's small. It's not too small.
And then you've got that one song, Trap Out in Guelph, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that song was a banger. I remember when that dropped a couple years ago.
Yeah, there was another rapper from another city close by, and he basically name dropped Guelph. So I got inspired to sample that track and then flip it, basically. So.
Nice. And I love the creativity on like a lot of your stuff. Like even going back to like Quicksand, just like the just the production style, just like the beats chosen, like Rock Paper Scissors. Yo, Elephant March. The beat on that is crazy. The change ups on that.
Yeah, no, that's super cool that you've like done your homework, because it is a lot of work. Like for anyone, even someone who's a big fan, it's understandable. Like after that many years, that many drops, you're not gonna hear every track. Or,
I've been listening for a couple weeks, just trying to get my brain greased up. I mean, and like I said, I've been a fan for a minute, so it's been like at least a few years I've been on the radar. But I just really dove deep a couple weeks ago to really be like, all right, what else is in here that I might have overlooked? And I got a list here.
That's super, super cool. And what the one you just mentioned too, Rock, Paper, Scissors,
yes,
is definitely, like, to me, one of my strongest albums. Like if I was to say, because I have like probably about 40, 50 albums.
Yeah, you have a lot out.
Yeah, if you count mixtapes and EPs and collabo albums, and there's a lot. But Rock, Paper, Scissors is probably in my top 5 that I would recommend.
There was actually one that I just came across earlier today that I haven't heard before ever. It was a collab with Zach G, and it had Dizzy D on it, Bluebird. It was a new belt.
Yeah, was that from my album or from Zach G's album?
I believe it was from the Zach G album. I think it said it was like 2015.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff going on at that era. A lot of cool collabs
and you've actually got another track with Dizzy D. I'm blanking on the name right now, but that track I was listening to like a bunch.
Yeah, Dizzy D's on Peacock Angel, and then
yes, it was the track on that album.
Yeah, we might have a couple other tracks. I kind of forget right now, but yeah, shout out to Dizzy D. He's from Alabama, like Sorta Human I was doing a lot of collabs with Sort of Human back in the day. Sort of Human was a legend. Like like Supa Sort of Human, he did a whole album with Lil Ugly Mane. So that's crazy.
Cool.
And yeah, no, it's just a lot of wild collabs back in those days. So it's like I was trying to say, there's been a lot of eras. I'm not sure if I said that or not, but you know, I started rapping in the mid 90s, late 90s, and I was like doing it with a hip hop band, and you know, playing festivals, and I was doing jungle drum and bass, and then it was
dude, oh god, just looking back at some of the stuff and just like catching the vibe that I could, because I'm 30, so 90s I was still a little young, but just thinking back on what you were doing, it just seems like it was such a different time period too, just the world was in.
Yeah, man. It was different because it just was not as nearly as saturated. So I just, you know, I tended to stand out a little bit more because there was so few MCs at the time. This is like pre-Eminem era, you know. So it just was not a lot of copycat MCs and not a lot of mainstream influence. You had to really be part of the culture in the 90s, I'd say, to really be interested in it and stuff. So. And
I saw one of your inspirations, maybe you're still with it, but I saw you were inspired by Faith No More a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, looking like I was listening to some of their stuff too, just diving back, and I could definitely hear like a little bit of like and some of their stuff was released a long time ago, but he had like a flow vibe, he was rapping on the tracks, some of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mike Patton, the one vocalist from Faith No More. They did have a couple, but Mike Patton, he's pretty legendary. He's like worked with Dose One, and he's done a lot of collabos and different I think he's worked with maybe Dan the Automator, the hip hop producer, and he's done a lot of vocal experimental, and then like an Italian concerto, and he's just done a lot of different. He's basically like a vocalist and a real artist as far as using his voice and stuff. But yeah, Faith No More was huge to me. I had their t-shirt, and and I used to spend hours reading through the lyric books, the lyric sheets of their album, and I learned a lot of new words from Faith No More. So yeah, big up Faith No More.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the band Smoke City or Chinese Man?
I don't think so. No.
No, there's this track, Post Trauma by Chinese Man, that is a banger. It's like an old school one. I never found anything else about the band, so I don't really know
like some heavy shit?
No, it was like I'm not 100% sure, but it was kind of like a French fusion hip-hop duo, but the lyrics were in English. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. Crazy. No, yeah, I don't think I know about that.
Yeah, I could send you a link to the song afterwards.
Yeah, send it.
For sure. Yo, so, Pirate Utopia 3000, can you tell me about that one? 77 songs? Like, is there anything that didn't make it?
That one, it doesn't have too much lore to it, but,
I like the album artwork and there's, let's see, Fire It Up, what is it?
Oh, shit, yeah, it's stacked.
Oh, God of the Snow, that track's a banger.
Yeah, it's stacked, honestly. There's a lot of hidden gems. I used to, make mixtapes, like if I would go through my computer basically and be like, what do I have here that's never really been released, that maybe I did a collab with somebody and they might have released it, they might have not released it, they might have promoted, maybe not, or maybe it didn't come out, or and I'd have all these loose songs all the time. So every now and then I'd kind of drop. I used to have one called Rare Gems, and then I don't know what it was, but I just had so many, and I was like, I'm gonna do a mixtape of 77 tracks because that was bonkers. But basically there's two editions. There's the first edition, which I just released free online. I just uploaded it somehow, and then when I went to release it properly on streaming sites, I tweaked a couple of the tracks. The track list is a little different, but most of it is the same. I'd say 60 of the songs out of the 70 are probably the same songs. So, but yeah, there's a bit of a variation and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just all the loose songs I may have had, because there's a lot of good work there. I don't like when I do a song and it doesn't come out. I like to have my work get heard at least, or at least have the opportunity to be heard.
Yeah, to make like the most of the energy too you're putting out there.
But yeah, basically when I dropped that one a couple years ago, it was all really old stuff, and I took like about 5 years off of music. A really good, that was like a really strong, long period of a break, and as I was kind of getting back into things, I guess I wanted to release that to kind of like clean out the old, the old folders and stuff.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. There were some projects that I was like, I want this stuff out, but I don't really want this in anything new. So maybe make like a little side EP, push it out, get a little extra hype going for the next release.
Yeah, it's nice like when you find the right place for a certain track. Like sometimes you don't know where something fits or where it belongs, and if you give it some time, usually it'll kind of show where it belongs. But
speaking of giving something some time, that the beat lightning rod that I had vaulted for a minute, and you put out that call to the universe, being like looking for dark, spooky kind of trap beat for the project. I was like, yo, this definitely got to send that over. Like,
I'm a big fan. You killed that beat.
Yo, you killed that track with the flow. Like I bump that track regularly. The whole album in general, I listen to that like crazy. Like Bubba Hotep, the fucking like.
Ooh, honestly, I gotta level with you. Like, that album's very underrated. Like, I tend to think that I'm pretty underrated in general.
Now, do you think that's just because you're in Canada, or do you think like what do you think? Because you've got a huge discography, you've been at it for a while.
So there's a bunch of different reasons, but honestly, I gotta remain thankful because I have kind of survived like numerous hip hop extinctions, where like a certain artist from that one era, they're done, and then it's like I'll survive to the next scene, and I'll like resonate with the young kids from that next era, and then I'll survive to the next scene, and I'll resonate with those cats, and I'll survive on to the next, and that's very, very difficult to do within the realm of hip hop, because it's such a youthful oriented culture. So I gotta remain thankful at the same time that I do think I am underrated within hip hop. I also think that like I've done a lot of stuff that other artists cannot do. Like there might be artists from back in the day that were big and then on TV and everything else, but when you go check their numbers, like I might have better numbers than them, and people think they were famous because they were on TV once, but they never kept it up. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they didn't continue there wasn't the consistency.
Yeah, and that's my main one of my main legacies.
You've been consistent and persistent.
Yeah, but yeah, big up to you, Lightning Rod. I definitely urge the listeners to check out that whole project. I mean, it's the whole series called Trail 1, 2, 3, 4, but specifically the Part 4 one. I really like that album. It's got some really unique tracks, some really legendary producers, and it's a strong release. I definitely think people should check that album out.
I agree, and I'm definitely going to pop a link to that album everywhere that I'm sharing this too, as well as your other channels. I know you got the Bandcamp, there's the Spotify, you got your own YouTube channel. Any other areas people can find you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess those are the main ones. There's always the other spots, but just the other day, like I linked somebody just over Instagram on the messenger. So, like if you need a project or you just want to, sometimes you can bypass Bandcamp. You can make more money anyway because they don't need their cut, right? So take out the middleman. You can just PayPal me directly, whatever. I can send you some tracks, whatever it is. But I mean, yeah, I do have a crazy discography. Like even the other day I was going through some of my my alternative music, and I was thinking I need to let people hear this stuff a little bit more. So.
Now I would like to touch on that for a moment. Do you think there's going to be anything kind of that touches on like those Cryptosporidian early Quicksand vibes? Because I know you were just released. Well, I think it's been out for a little while, but you released to the fans and people that are paying attention a little side project of like more folks-related adjacent stuff.
I mean, I do that under the name Yukon Dawn.
Yukon Dawn.
Yeah, it's been a long side project that I do here and there. I've done maybe like 3-4 albums or projects from that. And like back in the day, I used to make a lot of weird indie rock, punk rock, experimental. So that's kind of the name when I do that stuff. A lot of it's pretty minimal, like with the guitar. It's not like a band or anything. But there's some really cool stuff, creative stuff there. And yeah, sometimes I'll put it up, sometimes I'll take it down, but I've never like added to the all the streaming sites, so I might put it up to Spotify and stuff. It's some pretty cool music there. I used to play a lot of guitar and play a lot of different stuff. So, but as far as doing the quicksand sound, it's damn near impossible. Like a lot of my old fans, they don't even fuck with me anymore. This is what I mean by like surviving, because like a lot of time when you change, people do not fuck with you, and they're like, oh, we only like your old shit, we don't fuck with you anymore. So it's crazy, because like they might be the biggest fan, but they don't even like support me anymore because they only like the old shit from when they were in high school. So it's like a really crazy concept, but it's just like, well, yo, it's been 25 years, like I've changed so much, you know.
Yeah,
like,
to go from Cryptosporidian to say like Voodoo Doll, like I feel like that's a crazy like range.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, I haven't really changed as an artist very much, but it's just the time. It's just you put 25 years up, and I've made like about 1,000 songs at least. So, you know, you're going to have a lot of different sounds. But it always just kind of irks me. Like, I'm like, yo, I appreciate that people like the old music, but it's just like, I can't really, like I was 20 when I made that stuff. I can't really be 20 anymore, you know, like it's just, I can't do it. So I've, you know, I hopefully people can, honestly, and at the same time, I think that's people like are really doing an injustice or a disservice to the new music, because a lot of my new music's crazy and it's very creative, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on it. Like the old fans, they really should check it out. You know, sometimes it's hard. Like we have a short attention. We all have a short attention, and we're all busy. So it's difficult to go and listen. But like, I think if somebody sat down and, like you're saying, a Cultural 4 or just any album, like, and listen, I think they would be impressed. Because honestly, I think a lot of the shit that I do in the past 10 years is better than the old stuff. But mind you, a lot of that was creative. So I love it all. I love it all. And, but yeah, I can't really sound like that anymore. Like Quicksand had a very specific era, and I sound like a baby because I was a baby.
Well, I'm still bumping the tracks, but yeah, man, I was going through like the eras, just like, you know, like the Quicksand era, like Rock Paper Scissors, Tropical Fruit.
It's cool to me in that way. Yeah, you can go back and it's like you can see the growth and all that. So that's super cool.
Yeah, I feel like one thing is the art of people listening to an album, each track in succession, is like not a dying thing, but it's definitely faded a little bit to where people would pick their favorite tracks or whatever's most popular, and then the rest of the album they're like, I didn't even know that track existed.
Yeah, definitely now, like, it's only the first, like, 3 songs. Like, people only bump the first couple joints, you know.
Well, I feel, there's definitely different categories to, like, enjoyers of music. Because me, I definitely love listening to things on, like, I'll put my producer hat on and be like, alright, this beat was produced this way, it's got change-ups, they did the vocals layered this way, and then I'll put on, like, my lyricist cap and listen to it a different way and just run through the lyrics and be like, oh shit, yo, he made, like, and your reference game is phenomenal, man. Like, do you like, walk around with a dictionary, or, like, do you have a brain chip already? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, no, I mean, I try to throw in a lot of cool references, for sure.
For sure.
Whether it's like a weird movie or indie rock bands, a lot of indie rock bands, or just weird words, just any strange sci-fi kind of weird words, biology terms. There's a lot of the motifs. There's like a certain motifs I use, like viruses and aliens and things like that. But yeah, man. I've always been interested in words, and even now I'm still always like studying words and etymology and the history of words and stuff. So I'm obsessed with words, of course.
Now, do you think that also plays into your the love for the freestyle?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's what got me into hip hop, to be honest. Smoking weed and freestyling.
Oh yeah.
When I was like a teenager, that was it, and I just fell in love. Because honestly, freestyling, you use a part of your brain that it's not the same area of your brain that when you would recite a lyric that you already know. When you freestyle, you know, it's lighting up a different part of your mind, and it's addictive. It's like I don't know. It's just so crazy. It's its own art form, you know.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I've always loved to freestyle. So, and even some of my albums tracks, they might have.
I definitely hear some like freestyle. Like I thought that the My Daddy Went to Prison, My Little Brother Died track, that had kind of like a freestyle vibe to it.
It might have had part of it. I have to go back and listen, but sometimes you know a certain half of it might be freestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's definitely like a ton I could go into that, like just the change ups, the lyrical ways it's delivered. It's definitely on point. So you also make beats too, right?
I do, yeah. I've never really made it like my focus, as in like the Noah23 umbrella, like but I always produce beats here and there, and a lot of my stuff, like I might have mixed it or engineered. Like I engineer most of my stuff, mix most of my stuff. You know, so yeah, I definitely produce. Like I've always made music. I used to be in bands when I was younger, and I played most instruments. I used to have a drum kit. And lately I've been producing a fair bit of stuff too, just to keep it simple, and I don't have to do a bunch of back and forth, and I can just, you know, get it done in my own time. And so yeah, I've been kind of producing again a fair bit, but yeah, it's just not my main thing, but I do love it. I definitely do. And if I had more time, I would probably produce more often, you know?
I feel that. Now I've noticed in my area, and I've asked a few people about this too, what people's thoughts are. I don't know if there's a lot of people doing it up in your area, but people performing live but using the vocal track and then just basically like lip syncing live. Like, what is up with that fad that's going on?
I mean, it's so common nowadays that it's mind-boggling. Like, you know, way back in the day, I saw Travis Scott, like way back, and I was like laughing. I'm like, they just put on the song and dance. They just jump around.
Yeah, like I don't see like if you're not gonna get up and perform, like what are you doing? It's like performative at that point. It's not like
you gotta realize, like I came up on Micah 9, like Freestyle Fellowship, like the greatest MCs on earth.
No faking there.
The most fast, technical, like intricate, complicated, amazing, original rappers you would hear in your life. Like these are who I came up on. So when I like, and then you know that's why I get it. A lot of the old heads, they don't respect trap artists and modern rappers, because that's sort of because there's also the punching in. Like a lot of new modern rappers punch in everything. Yeah. So they can't even perform the song even if they wanted to. You got to realize, if you punch in your whole song and you overlap your bars, you can't perform that live. You have to just play it. So that's one thing to consider. Also, like, everybody has their vocal chain, like, and, you know, their EQ and the auto-tune. So that's another thing. So nowadays it evolved to be more just like a performance, and I respect it for what it is, but I don't think of it as the same thing as being a real MC. It's a different kind of more punk rock aspect of hip hop. That's the way I think of it, and it's cool for me because I come to terms with all of these different styles: cloud rap, trap, you know, like whatever it is, all the different areas, and I embrace everything, which is sort of different. Most artists really stay in their pocket and stay in their niche. But to me, I just love all of it. I love music. So it is kind of weird. I mean, I just don't judge them like that. And to be honest, you got to blame the fans, because like I can rap crazy live, you know, and like, but I'm not huge. Like like you got to sometimes blame like the fans, because it's like if the fans don't push the artists that should be pushed, then then they won't make it. Like,
and they
you
just
need
get
to share
complacent with delivering the same kind of stuff.
You need to like everything I post, share everything like you need to lift up underground artists in general, all your friends, like, because what does it cost you to like something? And because like if you think, I just mean like if you think an artist is talented, you should push them, whether it's me or somebody else. Because that's the reason, like people, I just think a lot of fans are sheepish and they follow what is cool or when they're young, and they don't even stick with music as a fan, maybe past a few years.
And they end up listening to your 15-year-old tracks 20 years later, and that's all they listen to.
Yeah, and that's weird too, because I love to discover new music. So it's just, at the end of the day, I do put a lot of emphasis on the fans to have to be more diligent and like, and push. It's not really up to people's friends and homies. I just think like if you're a fan, you should like, because nowadays things are a little bit like love and hate. Like on TikTok, like with this rage bait, there's like every post, it's like you love it or hate it, it doesn't matter as long as it gets the views and shit. And it's just a weird time to live in, but that is what it is. Like sometimes you appeal, it's like a attraction, negative, like you repel. Somebody may they leave comments because they hate you so much, and that puts you in the algorithm. It's just really weird. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling, but at the end of the day, yeah, like I respect like rappers who can really spit, no backing tracks, get up there and murder that shit. It's an art form. I think of the voice as like an instrument. It can be cool if it's a show, like a party or whatever it is, but I'm not going to respect you like a talented MC. It's not the same thing.
I feel like, especially if it's an event where like I'm going out and paying to see something, and it's like I get there and it's like you're lip syncing on stage. It's kind of backhanded. It's like, what is this?
It's crazy.
Like I could have just hung out with you. Like
I have more fun at a show with like 30 hip hop heads. That's everybody's really rapping and the show's intimate than at a big ass show where they're just like throwing bottles and there's just like lights, and it's not even cool to me. I don't know what it is. I like an intimate show. I don't even like a big crazy show at this point.
And I feel like that's where the real underground comes out, and I feel like pop culture, all these, I'm not going to name anyone, but big artists and whatnot, they constantly are ripping off the underground and then taking fans from there, kind of siphoning it. Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up. I'm like, I've noticed it just over the years, seeing some things kind of like, maybe some people that are like down in Florida making something, and then all of a sudden you see like some big artist doing something that's really similar, and it's like, that's weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so many artists have been kind of ripped off, and or just not even ripped off every time necessarily, but it's dog eat dog. It's competitive, and music's pretty wild.
True.
Nobody's gonna give you everything. You kind of got to take it. It's like the law of the jungle, I guess. It's pretty wild, but and like people don't really respect the history, like the order of things, the way that they go down. Like
if you actually, someone that did the history and they looked like the the timelines of things, they'd be like, oh, okay, I understand this. Because like if you look back, like I influenced artists like Bones, like like direct. Like I mean, I have like messages, like just. Fucking, that's cool.
Just different artists that are huge, and they listen to me, but like just the way the law of the universe works, like I'm kind of underground, but it is weird how you can still have that influence on a wider stage, and a lot of people may not know. So.
Underground legend, the Guelph Oracle, Twist Thrizzy.
Yeah, what's up.
Now,
but yeah, like sometimes I think about like main attractions and different, like, because they never really blew up. They like invented cloud rap, but they didn't really blow up. So, for me, sometimes I don't want to harp on it, but I want to see like the underground legends and originators really get their due.
Now, have you any good albums recently that come out that like underground related that you would recommend?
Yeah, I mean, if you really like really creative hip hop, lyrical stuff, I gotta say, rest in peace to my man Warcloud. He passed away in December, and
P. Warcloud.
yeah, Warcloud's honestly one of my all-time favorite MCs. He was in Wu-Tang Clan when he was a teenager, West Coast Wu-Tang, Killer B. His whole story was wild. He was one of my favorite rappers, and I got to be on one of his last albums. When that came out, I'm on 2 tracks on that. You can check those out on his Spotify and everything. So that album's on there, and then he actually has already posthumously they dropped one of his albums already. It came out like a month ago, and it's just him. There's nobody else on there. And then that album is really crazy. I really recommend it. It's one of my favorite things I've heard lately.
Is that with Wakizashi Jabberwocky?
That's the other one that I'm on. Yeah, that's got the 2 tracks with me on there.
Yeah.
And Killer Priest.
I actually listened to that one. That one's pretty fire.
Oh man, it's a crazy project. I love it, and I'm really proud to be on there. But yeah, he released another one, and it's just him, and it's the funniest. It's the crazy funniest album. Like, he talks about beating up superheroes thematically through the whole album. And I mean, every song, he's like, I bashed in Batman's skull. I beat the shit out of Superman. I fucking smashed Spider-Man's face. I fucking destroyed Iron Man with a backbreaker.
Dano's over there.
You know, like, I beat up the Hulk. Like, he's just a legend. I cannot emphasize enough. He's got a crazy catalog as well, but that's like one of the new ones, and that really impressed me. And you know, that's really for the advanced hip hop listener who really likes the crazy stuff. But I listen to a lot of stuff though too, like you know, like trap stuff and auto-tune stuff. I listen to D Baby a lot, the Texas artist named, not Da Baby, but D Baby. D
Baby, yeah.
And out of Toronto, I recommend Duvy. He spelled his name D-U-V-Y. He's a young cat. Kind of sounds like Vori, kind of sounds like a lot of Atlanta different trap artists, but he's really, really dope.
Okay. Oh, word. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. Like a ton. Like I've been saying, I've been diving through the playlist. I actually made my own little playlist of just like.
Man, you are a real one, bro.
Yo, I'll send you it. Just like, it's called Tarot Cards after the track on Nikosi Trio.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great track. Yeah.
Yeah, yo, I love that track right there. But is there any advice you'd give to upcoming or like other underground artists at the moment in 2025 from the 2-3 God?
Yeah, I mean, just have fun with it and like chase, you know, your own vision. Just try to get into your flow, your work state, your flow state. And, you know, just try things. You're going to sometimes be frustrated. Just don't let that, you know, if you really love it, just kind of keep going. And, you know, remember that, like, it's an art form first. You got to, like, do it for the love first, you know. So
I agree.
Anything else may come. It may not. It may come and then leave. It may never come. You never know. But you got to just love music, and then you can't lose. So... but it'll change your life. It'll bring you places that you never thought. It'll let you meet people you never thought you would meet. It can do so many things, you know, whether you're on a major label or not. So, you know, it's an ever-changing world, but music is one thing that never really changes, and like the creative aspect of life is very important. So just keep engaging with that vibe, you know?
Yeah. Now, actually, one last thing, that comes to mind after you saying that. What's the craziest thing, if you are able to share, that you feel like music, the path you've walked down, has brought you? Like the craziest, like, moment or event or like time?
Shit. I mean, one of them was when I went and I played in Athens, Greece, way back in like 2003. And yeah, like I had never been to Europe. I went out to Athens, Greece. These young cats brought me out there, and that was crazy to me. I'm like, here I am around the other side of the world, and you know, visiting the Acropolis and all the old buildings, and it's just so much history. So I mean, that was one thing that was pretty wild, and I ended up going to Europe 5 times. You know, so I've been all over doing music. I've been all over the States. It's basically the traveling. I've seen all over Canada, all over the States, all over Europe, and you know, I'd love to see more. You never know, so hopefully I can keep doing it a little bit longer still.
You know, any plans to come out to like the East Coast area anytime soon? I'm in Connecticut.
I think I've played in Hartford. I think I've played. You said Hartford?
Yeah, I got a show next month, May 16th, the Vibes Over Labels and Trends show at the Webster Underground.
That's super cool. I think I've played out there like once. I've played Boston. I think I played Boston, Connecticut, Maine, and
were you in New York last year? Was it last year?
No, not last year. No, but I was in Texas. But yeah, I don't do a lot of shows these days.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye out. If you end up coming out over to the East Coast, like New York area, I'm definitely gonna do my best to come out. For sure.
Cool, man. Yeah, you never know. Maybe we can hook something up.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you. Noah23, everybody. I'm going to drop all the links on this video here, and I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much. You have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, man. Much love, broski.
Hey, much love. Peace.
All right. Peace.
There you have it, folks. Interview with Noah23. Guelph Oracle, 23 God, you know, Twiz Thrizzy, Captain Clark. We went through it. My notes, I still have stuff I didn't even touch on. Like, this man has a lot of work. 2 joints, that beat is fire. Freaking Pirate Utopia, I didn't even go into all the tracks. Like, there's that track Time Will Tell with Lil B on it. My god. That track with Debo and Big Horse, Hate My Pimpin', that song is a banger too. Anyways, DTG, gotta go. Next interview is on the way, so peace.